This is Chapter 10.
Some days it's hard to know what local officials know, but this much I know. They don't know much about history. Take, for example, Coleman A. Young, one of the strongest leaders Detroit has ever seen. Detroit politicians are constantly evoking the image of Coleman Young, but they don't know Coleman Young. He was a Tuskegee airman who went to war.
I think we've got a much more serious situation now in communist infiltration of the CIA.
He stood up to Joe McCarthy, and when someone dared ask whether he was on drugs, he said he'd pee into a cup. And when someone dared ask how they would know it was his urine that went in that cup, he said, "Come and take a look." So how much do today's politicians have in common with Coleman Young, the man they reference so reverentially?
Ooh, you something else, boy.
Councilman, why won't you answer these questions? Why won't you make an appointment with us? You've been living large, taking junkets, big birthday party at the museum.
Well, no, I have another question for you about the public schools. They say you can only send your kids to East Lansing Public Schools if you live in East Lansing or Ingham County. We're done. We still have questions. Are you going to come out again? Because we can stay. We can stay if you want. He says, was there any doubt in your mind, Mr. Jackson, you were paying Mr. Riddle for Monica Kanya's vote? He says no. What should Detroiters make of this? Well, they don't exactly follow in his footsteps. Instead, they make tracks.
Hey, Mr. Banks, can you stop for a minute? Hey, what's this fundraiser for? You trying to raise money for your rent? Sir. Come on. Mr. Banks. Will you please come talk to us about this, sir? What's going on with this lawsuit? It says employees only. I guess he's working here now. What would Coleman Young do if a reporter asked him a question he didn't like?
He never ran from them. They duked it out.
What would it take to make Coleman Young run?
Well, I never saw him run. There was no reporter that he was afraid of.
Today, we got a lot of cowards sitting up there, run from. They don't want to talk. They don't want to take a stand. You don't know where they at. You know what? They hem and hawing, and you know what? That's why Detroit is in the state that it's in right now.
What a change from Coleman Young, who certainly wouldn't have been afraid of a pencil-neck geek like me.
It's time to leave Detroit. Hit 8 Mile Road.
But to today's elected officials, I'm downright terrifying. Now, in this Chapter 10 exclusive, we go behind the scenes to reveal how when some Detroit officials agree to go on camera, it's only after they've orchestrated an elaborate escape plan.
All right, the art of the escape, brought to you by Representative Brian Banks. Set up this meeting to answer some questions regarding an eviction and being sued, eviction, whatever. So he's supposed to answer some questions, and we're ready for an interview, but little did we know he had an escape plan, a quite masterful one, because that's what politicians do these days. They run from him.
I'd run from a guy with an earring.
Me too. Here we go.
So, Mr. Eric, you showed up.
Called him the wrong name, first of all. Let's rewind that.
Mr. Eric? You were saying. So, Mr. Eric, you.
That actually is a move out of Coleman Young's book, because he would pretend he didn't know what station well-known reporters worked for, and he would go, "What station you with again?" So that he actually is pulling from Coleman Young, which is good.
Here you are. Here's the statement.
Here's his statement, which is all he plans on saying. We had no idea. We thought maybe we'd be able to ask him a couple more questions. Here's something that I didn't notice at the time, but realized afterwards. Look at the quick glance back to the door. That you can't see the door right now, but there's a door here that's locked, and we're not allowed to go in once they're in it. And that's glance number one at the door, making sure.
Get ready.
Yeah. Second glance.
Get ready.
Prepping his boy. And now here comes the block, the camera block, which is very subtle. I wish I didn't zoom in. If I didn't zoom in, you would have saw the nod more. But he gets the paper up in front of the lens, looks back. Here he is looking back at his boy. Gives the nod. Did you see the nod?
I saw the nod. It's time to go.
It's time to bounce. There it is. There's the nod. Click of the door. Put it in your hand later.
Whoa, and blocked.
Can you just act like an adult, sir? Sir.
Grandpa came out of nowhere.
And he's gone. The art of the escape. ML honestly got a little bit owned. Not gonna lie. Look, he's like, let me see this statement.
He's confused.
He's looking. What? Where? Gone. Burned.
Can you just act like an
Like a fart in the wind.
Sir.
It's like a pick and roll.
He's so sad. It really, it might have hurt ML's feelings.
Can you just act like an adult, sir?
Can you?
Sir.
Are we watching an episode of 227? What is this?
Come out here. You're a grown man. Get out here. Katie, can you make him come out? Brian, can you do this? Do you want to be a part of this? I mean, really? Is this why you came to Lansing? To keep his milk bottle warm?